So give me an example of when a credit score doesn't relate to your interest rate.
So a credit score, it does impact your interest rate, but is not the only factor. So happy Tuesday. Welcome to Just the Tip Tuesday Mortgage Podcast here with Gregory Martell. He doesn't frequent the United States, but when he does, he sits in this chair with me.
Yeah, I do. I do frequent it. I've been waiting for the holiday season. Didn't want to be around and traveling to the U.S. between the Thanksgiving massacre or travel day on Wednesday and then the Sunday yesterday. Yesterday was Monday, but
Yeah.
Sunday wasn't very good. Sunday had a lot of delays with the weather. So.
I don't know how I feel about that. You just have to do all this work for one meal with your family. Just because everybody else agrees that we should do that one day.
Did you feel thankful eating it? What were you thankful for that day?
Yeah, I mean, I was thankful for my family being there and everything. Life's really good right now. But it's just a lot of work for that.
What did you actually do, though, besides physically getting there? And sitting on the
Nothing.
couch and eating.
We just played some
4,000 calories.
family games. I probably clocked 6,000 calories, but we played some family games.
Honestly, I was thinking, did I talk to you about this? I don't think I talked to Chris about this. I was debating that you probably took down that day, 30 to 35,000 calories that day.
I wanted to.
I think you might have.
I wanted to. I did have a...
From start to finish?
I had a cinnamon roll. So I wasn't going to eat breakfast because I don't eat breakfast. We never eat breakfast.
Well,
and my mom made
you do on Sundays.
eggs, bacon, cinnamon rolls, and my dad was chirping me.
Cinnamon rolls?
Yeah, my dad's chirping me. He's like, "What do you think you're some sort of professional athlete? You think that one meal is going to change what you've got going on? Your mom makes us breakfast, you're not going to eat it?" So I walk up with the plate. I grab 2 cinnamon rolls, all the eggs, all the bacon. I just sit down in front of it and start eating it.
Oh my God, this is
and
amazing.
He's very happy. So was I.
That sounds like a food orgasm right there.
Yeah. So I may have clocked a lot of calories.
I can see that for sure. I would.
Anyways, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays to everybody. We're gonna get into some mortgage tips.
Yeah, today's the mortgage tip Tuesday or just the tip Tuesday. So I don't have a tip really to give, but I was hoping you had something to give.
Yeah, I've got some stuff.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, that'd be great.
What would be a good question to ask you?
That I don't know.
Let me think here. Okay, so what? Actually, you know what? Chris is over here too. He's new to the whole game. Chris, what's the most frequently asked question that you get from your clients?
A lot of interest rates.
So give me an example of when a credit score doesn't relate to your interest rate.
So a credit score, it does impact your interest rate, but is not the only factor. So let's say
you said that it wasn't the most important.
It's not the most important thing. It's not. And the buckets are really like if you're above 700 and below 720, that's a bucket, and then 720 to 750 is kind of the next bucket. Above that, it really doesn't matter. If you have an 805, an 815, a 790, a 780.
So say my house is worth $1 million, and I owed $300,000, and I wanted to add.
So that means your LTV is 30%.
LTV
your
is
loan to value ratio.
Okay.
You're loaning 30,000.
We don't use acronyms here.
300,000.
SYO.
Loan to value.
Is my mic okay? Is this a good spot for it right here?
I think you should be moving it.
Or my face?
I think
it's actually like a twin of my nose.
The mic is the same size as your nose.
I think it's actually a little smaller than my nose. Yeah. So if I owe $300,000, I want to add say $75,000 in a refinance, and I have crappy credit. That's low. That low loan to value, that lower risk amount. Is it going to give me an interest rate that's competitive, or am I going to have an interest rate that's going to be substantially higher because my credit score is low from, let's say, derogatory payments, but I have huge equity in my house? So I'm a low risk on lending, but I'm a higher risk when it comes to credit score because maybe I don't pay my student loans on time like no one else does, or my cell phone, etc.
It would depend on how crappy your credit score is. But as long as it was within a qualifying range, you would still be able to get an interest rate.
So what is a credit score range?
You need to be above 680.
Where
Above
does it
700
start?
is ideal.
Where does it start?
Well, you can go down to the 400s.
Okay, so can 400?
350 to 900. Is that right? 350 to 900.
I've never seen 900. I've seen 850.
I've seen
His
8.
name is
I've
Jesus
seen 880s.
Christ, his name is?
892 is the highest I've ever seen. Actually, you want to know a funny story? I saw a couple. They've been married for over 60 years, and they each had the exact same score, 878. And he walked in and told me my credit score is 878. And we did a hard inquiry, and it was 878 for both of them.
Wow.
Yeah, talk about having your shit together.
That's some serious organization.
Yeah.
OCD.
I didn't hear her
something
speak
like that.
once.
Huh?
I didn't hear his wife speak once.
Really?
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Anyways.
Okay, we can cut that part out. Anyways, so no one even watches. It doesn't matter. I'll just defend my own staff, basically. Okay, so that's...
So, wait, I want to talk about the factors that go into
my
getting
credit
an
score is
interest rate.
550. My score is 550. Can I get a loan? Or is it going to be a hard money situation?
It's going to be like a hard money, subprime, non-QM. You can get one if you have good
QM?
assets. Non-qualified mortgage, which means it's not sold or harder to sell into the secondary market. So you're looking for a different type of investor.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it
I
is
like
good.
it. Does
But
Peter
anyways,
still work
what Peter? Yeah, he comes in occasionally. He's very tall, so I think on the rainy days.
For a second, that was him.
So 3 factors that go into your interest rate that not everybody knows. Occupancy type. Is it your primary residence, your second home, or an investment property?
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Another factor.
Refinance?
Type of home.
Refinance?
Doesn't matter.
Refinance is in a higher rate?
Huh? No. If you're refinancing a rate and term
Yeah.
on your primary residence, or you're refinancing an investment property, the investment property is going to be higher.
No, I understand that, but in Canada, not that we're in Canada,
Yeah, we're
if
not.
you refinance a house, your rate's actually higher than getting like a regular purchase mortgage. Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, you could say
Oh,
that.
so it is? Okay.
Depends on how much you're putting down. Depends on what type of loan you're getting. If you're getting an FHA loan, but you're refinancing a conventional, then the FHA rate is going to be
FHA
lower.
is what?
Federal Housing Administration.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. What else?
Well, so
So
3
should I
things
pick
that
that?
go into getting an interest rate. The occupancy type. Is it primary? Is your primary residence? Is it a second home or is it an investment property? Second home has to be outside of 50 miles from your primary residence. Otherwise, it's considered an investment property. So if you have a home and you have another home, and it could be your vacation home, for it to qualify as a second home, it has to be greater than 50 miles away from your primary residence, and they'll look it up. They'll figure it out. They'll let you know if you're 42.8 or something like that. So the
So if
occupancy
it's within
type,
if it's within 50,
miles,
then
investment.
it's an investment property.
Yep.
If it's
outside of 50,
it could be a second home.
second
And
home.
why would someone say that? Is it a way that they could manipulate the system a little bit?
Maybe, or they could actually have it as a second home, but like they have a family member that lives in there and maybe pays rent for a room, but it's their second like vacation home. If you think of like places like LA is a
Let me ask you a question.
hour and a half drive, but it's only 30 miles away.
Yeah, but say for example, like why is that restriction there? What can someone do to like? Obviously, they put a rule there because people were taking advantage of something.
Yeah, they didn't want you to buy a primary residence and then buy what you considered a second home, like down the road and rent it out to.
But when you can, so let me be more specific, I guess. When you say second home, what kind of benefits do you get from mortgage product itself, calling it a second home compared to calling it a rental property? Is it just interest rates going to be lower on a second home?
Interest rate a little lower. There's a few different like down payment options. You can usually get away with putting less than 25% down on a second home.
Okay.
And an investment, you're pretty much
So investment home is 25 or 20?
25
Okay.
for investment.
Perfect. Okay, that's good. That makes
And
sense.
there's
That's a good
a
tip.
few overlays,
What was
but
the third one?
general rule of thumb. Well, I didn't even get to the second one.
That was the second one.
No, the first one was occupancy type.
Okay, sorry.
Primary, second home, investment.
That's a long conversation.
Yeah. Well, it was quick originally.
All right, so what's number 2?
Number 2 is the property type. Is it a single-family detached home, which would be like a standalone home on a foundation? Or is it like a condo or a townhome or all these different things? So condos, townhomes. The best scenario is a single-family detached home. Is it 2 to 4 unit? Is it a multifamily? Things like that. And then the third thing would be that loan-to-value. Loan-to-value ratio, which means how much you owe in relation to how much the house is worth. And the less you owe or the more equity, which is the difference between what you owe and what it's worth.
What is the highest loan to value you can have?
So for refinance on a cash out, you cannot go higher than 80% loan to value. If you're just doing a rate and term refinance, which means you're not taking any cash out, you're just trying to get a lower interest rate, maybe change the program type, you can go up to the 97%. In some special cases like VA loans or some of the
So
other.
you can go 97% on to 3% down. You're in
Yeah.
the market.
Yeah.
Oh. And then if you're a VA, stands for what?
Veteran affairs.
Affairs?
Yeah.
Okay. You can have nothing down.
Yeah. As little as $1 down.
You have to have good credit, though?
You have to have pretty good credit.
What's pretty good credit? Is that like 550?
No, 550 wouldn't cut it. 620 and above. 680 is ideal, but there's. But if everybody kind of comes out with
how do
different
the
programs.
520s eat? How do they survive?
Well, you can go an FHA loan down to the 500 credit score. You can get an FHA loan for a purchase, but the minimum down payment is going to be about 10%.
Okay. All right, that's good.
10%
That's
of
a
the
good.
purchase
Those are
price.
good tips, Garrick. Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
Good
This is
job.
why you should have me on the show, not Chris. I'm just kidding.
Okay, all right. I'll take that note. But you are in a show.
Yeah,
Chris
it was
is only on here
good.
once.
Pretty good week.
Anything else before we wrap this up?
No, there's going to be a lot of entertaining things coming up.
Yeah, we're off to Cabo this
Cabo
week
Wabo.
for a sales mastermind department head training session and planning for goal setting for 2020, and a little bit of a Christmas kind of party on Saturday night, and back at it. So we might have some fun video clips and maybe a podcast from the beach if we can find the time, because we're just going there to work really the whole time, 97% of the time. Right, Connor?
3% down.
Connor? McDavid?
He's not paying attention. He's scrolling on his
listening.
screen. How many days? Yeah, on your screen activity. How many hours a day do you scroll?
It's the other way around. It's how many days, how many hours,
A
how
day.
many minutes in the day that you're not.
Can you
on
pull
your
up the
phone.
activity app
I
and
bet
let us
you it's
know?
less. I bet you if you take away his sleep, the amount of time he sleeps, it's less than an hour.
Oh, let's talk about Chris last Sunday. Last Sunday night, tired, right? We went to dinner. We went to LA. Went to
Joey?
Yeah, Joey DTLA to see the LA Auto Show. He wanted to go to the LA Auto Show. I told him we would go Sunday. We went. We get home. I'm tired. I go to bed. This dude comes in my room at like 4:30 in the morning. Are you awake? What? I heard you moving around in your sleep. I thought you were awake. I'm like, no. Why are you awake? I didn't go to bed. I didn't go to sleep at all. I'm like, why did you go to sleep? I don't know. I was just looking through. I was looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at 6,400. I almost bought it last night, and I was just looking at. I updated my whole LinkedIn, and he's just going on and on. I'm trying to go back to sleep. He comes in like an hour
Was it
later.
actually 4:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
It wasn't. He's exaggerating.
No, he didn't sleep. He did not sleep. Did you go
Did
to
you
sleep?
not sleep at all?
He didn't sleep.
He didn't
Really?
sleep. So listen. So then at 6:30, he's like, "Is Babette's open? I think I'm gonna go get breakfast." I'm like, "Dude, go to bed." He's like, "No, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling motivated. Let's do it." I'm ready to leave.
I love it. First pick overall right there.
We're leaving the house at 7:30. I walk out. He's
sleeping?
on the couch asleep. I wake him up. I'm like, "We gotta go to the office." He's like, "This is not good, man. I'm done."
All right, thanks everybody for listening.
Have a great
and
week.
we'll talk to you guys
Happy
next week. Thank
holidays.
you.